Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I am filming this in my car, which is a new venture for me. I need to actually pay attention to the road. I don't know if I already did an intro to this video. I guess we will find out at the final cut. But I am filming in my car because I have signed up for one of those like blood test companies where you kind of take the power back into your own hands about, running different blood tests that you would want, your primary care doctor to run every year or so. So the company I partnered with is called Superpower, and I am on my way to Quest right now because they partner with Quest. That is where you do your blood work. It's not one of the ones that you like do in your house. If you guys seen some of the other ones, you like do it in your house and then you send it away. This is actually like you go to Quest and the phlebotomists there do it for you. Because I need to get, this is their base package. It does over 100 tests. And what I didn't know is that in order to do that, it is 6 vials of blood. That's a lot for me, especially because I have low blood pressure. Technically, I'm not supposed to donate blood, like Red Cross donate blood. I had done it a couple times in college and passed out every time. So my doctor was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't donate blood. So I don't know what 6 vials worth of blood is going to do to me. But this is a fasting appointment, so it's 9:54, and I haven't had no coffee, nothing to eat yet. But I did bring my Liquid IV electrolytes ready to go after the appointment. And this Quest is a pretty big one. I like this one that I go to near our house, and it has a lot of chairs, so I might just take my time and go back out into the waiting room and sit in the chair, drink my Liquid IV, and see where I am after that. I wanted to kind of document every step of the process. I will be putting up screenshots and screen recordings so you guys can see. After you sign up, they send you the lab orders in your email 24 hours before you schedule the appointment. And you schedule the appointment through Superpower, like it's all in their system, like they're connected with Quest, like you don't have to go separately and sign in with Quest or whatever. They send you your lab work, your lab order that you can print out 24 hours before the appointment, and they continually send you emails about like your appointment reminders, like your appointment's in 24 hours, your appointment's in 48 hours, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should stop doing, like don't do any strenuous workouts before your appointment, you need to stop taking any like multivitamin or biotin supplements if you're taking that, because that could kind of like skew the results of some of these tests. The process has been pretty easy so far. I have also chatted with their like AI bot, I guess you could say. If you can upload your own history of lab results, and this AI bot will actually like interpret these results and kind of like have a conversation with you. For example, I had a postpartum hemorrhage with my son, and my hemoglobin levels dropped to like 5.2 or something, like something crazy dangerous, like your hemoglobin is supposed to be like minimum 11 or 12. Like I lost half my blood. And it picked that up. So, I uploaded basically all of my lab results from the time I was pregnant with him, postpartum with him, all that. Then I got pregnant with my daughter, postpartum with her, everything that I had, I downloaded from my chart, from my doctor, and uploaded it to this portal. So the AI bot basically was like, I see that you were being treated for hypothyroidism before this time period, because it didn't know that I was pregnant, right? So I had to tell it afterwards, like what kind of my story was. But I noticed you were treated for hypothyroidism, but now your thyroid it has bounced back and it's good and you're not on these medications anymore. And there was some sort of catastrophic event in February of 2022, and I was like, reading that, I was like, yeah, it was catastrophic. It was. But your white blood cell count and your hemoglobin has rebounded and blah blah blah. And it was like, can you tell me what are the details, what happened? So I was like, C-section, postpartum hemorrhage, and then repeat C-section, blah blah blah. I no longer am on thyroid meds, and all this. And it was like, that's amazing. Like, these lab results show exactly that. Like, you had a pretty horrific thing happen, but your body has responded well in the past 2.5 years. That your body has basically kind of healed, and your red blood cell count, your white blood cell count, your hemoglobin has all rebounded in a really good way. So I don't know, it was just kind of like, I guess that's like reassuring to hear, even though it's not a real person, but an AI bot, like, kind of go through and see my story and kind of see where I am today. And this is just why I signed up with Superpower, to see, I'm turning 36 this year, and we're not having any more babies, so I kind of want to get a baseline of my midlife. I could be entering perimenopause soon, so I kind of want to get a baseline of what are my labs now, especially now that I've been on GLP-1s. I am down to like my lowest weight that I've ever been, pre-wedding weight. I'm back to pre-wedding, pre-babies, pre-everything. I kind of want to see how everything looks blood-wise, if that makes sense. Hi everyone, welcome back. It has been 7 days since I got my blood work done, and what a crazy 7 days it has been. I got the results, and I want to go through everything with you guys today. So I had over 100 biomarkers tested through Superpower, and instead of getting just like pages of confusing numbers, I received an entire personalized health protocol from them, because some of the results honestly shocked me. So I want to walk you through the lab findings, what I'm changing kind of in my daily life, and if I think Superpower is actually worth it. So if you're new here and you made it through that little intro part of the video, my name is Heather, and I am documenting my GLP-1 weight loss journey here on YouTube, and kind of everything that I'm doing to improve my health long term, not just lose weight. And one thing I've realized pretty quickly is that the number on the scale or the numbers on a tape measure, they're just like one part of the story. I wanted to find out exactly what was happening inside my body, and that's kind of what led me to Superpower. So I already get annual blood work from my doctor, and I see an endocrinologist probably 2 times a year now that my thyroid has kind of healed itself postpartum. But like a lot of people, all my blood work, every time it comes back as normal or within the normal range. The problem is, normal doesn't always mean optimal. I wanted more information. I wanted to know, why am I tired? What supplements should I actually be taking? Is my heart good? Because my parents both have high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Is there anything else I should be focusing on to kind of optimize my weight loss or help on my weight loss journey? So as I explained in the video, the process to schedule the appointment is very straightforward. You stay within the Superpower portal the entire time when making your appointment through Quest. They send you your lab order, they send you the confirmation code and everything when you, if you've gone to Quest before, you know that you check in for your appointment. They send you everything that you need. And then a few days later, I received my results within the portal, and you also receive a detailed report, more detailed than any routine lab work I've ever gotten before. And instead of just pages of numbers, it actually explained what each result means, why they matter, how long it will take to improve, evidence behind each recommendation, supplement suggestions, and lifestyle suggestions or recommendations. It was like getting a personalized health coach instead of just like lab results. So the biggest thing that Superpower found for me or flagged was my cardiovascular health. And this is what caught me off guard, to be honest. So I'm just going to read some numbers here, and maybe I'll put some stuff on the screen. My LDL cholesterol came back at 147. My total cholesterol was 221. And my ApoB, which I didn't even know what that was, but it's considered one of the strongest predictors of cardiovascular risk, was also elevated. So first of all, I read my results like first thing in the morning, right when I woke up, and that just like set the tone for the day, and I was pretty defeated and depressed the rest of the day. I'm going back to reading. It says, because I have the family history of high blood pressure, even though I have a history of low blood pressure, so I'm not really worried about that. But my parents both have high cholesterol, and both of my grandparents, or my grandfathers, on both sides, both have diabetes. So this report, it really emphasized that right now was the perfect time to be proactive rather than waiting until it becomes a bigger problem in my life. And what I appreciated was it wasn't just like, oh, your cholesterol is high. Because honestly, that's what happened when I went to go see my primary doc last year. She was like, oh, your cholesterol is a little high. I'm like, okay. Is there anything I can do? She's like, no, it's not high enough for any sort of protocol like cholesterol meds or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so just keep on keeping on, I guess. This is totally different. It explained why these numbers matter, and it actually gave me a plan. So I'll go through some of the recommendations. And again, this is not medical advice. This is just recommendations that the report gave me. So number one, they said to focus more on a Mediterranean diet. So that was incorporating more legumes, which are like lentils and beans. It said it wanted me to eat a fatty fish twice a week, but I do not eat seafood. I don't eat fish. I eat like shellfish, like crab cakes and whatnot, but I don't eat fish. So I wrote back in the little thing, I was like, I don't eat fish. And it was just like, okay, then focus on lentils and beans and like that sort of thing. So it wanted me to add more fiber, which again is where like the beans play into it. Use really good olive oil, which I already do because my husband is Greek and we cannot use anything less than extra virgin olive oil directly from Greece. If we use anything else, he feels like he is betraying his ancestry. And then start on some supplements, including CoQ10, which is really good for blood flow and heart health. The second biggest finding was about my energy. And so my ferritin technically wasn't low. It was in the normal range, but it wasn't in the optimal range. Superpower pointed out that women my age operate the best within the optimal range, which is like 10 points higher than where my ferritin currently is. And to be in that optimal range, it will help you with better focus and better energy and better sleep. And as someone who's had 2 pregnancies, 2 C-sections, 1 with a postpartum hemorrhage, that kind of made sense, especially when my hemoglobin, dropped drastically low with that first pregnancy or first delivery. So the report suggested that improving my iron stores could potentially help with energy, brain fog, and afternoon crashes. And again, it wasn't diagnosing me with anything. It was just explaining where these optimization opportunities existed. And the third section of this report wasn't based on any sort of abnormal lab results. It was based on my questionnaire and my overall health goal that I filled out even before doing the lab draw. So it recommended creating kind of this stronger daily foundation. So that was some more supplements, definitely getting in strength training, and some more cardio. And if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that especially strength training, these are some of the things that I already believe in and have already been trying to incorporate in my busy life. But it reassured me that these recommendations were actually lining up with things that I have already been trying to incorporate. And I think my favorite part wasn't actually just the lab results, it was the explanations. Because I think that's where a lot of the times the doctors fall short of, or like in-person doctors fall short of, is the explanation. Every single recommendation on the report included why it was recommended, the research behind it, how to take the supplements, any sort of possible medication interactions with the supplements, because I actually do have a medication allergy. So it took that into account when it was like recommending these supplements. They were like, hey, like check the ingredients for this because that's what you're allergic to before you take it. And also just like what to expect overall. So I didn't feel overwhelmed at all making these changes. It felt like somebody had translated this complicated lab work into plain old English for me. And now it does help that my husband is a pharmacist and my brother-in-law is a doctor. So anytime that they are trying to explain something to me, they kind of use technical medical jargon and I'm like, hey, hello? I work in the travel industry. I do not work in the medical industry. You need to give me plain old language here. So overall, has been worth it, or would I recommend it? I think it depends. If you're simply looking for annual blood work, this is probably more than you need. But if you're someone who's investing in your health, which I assume if you're watching my channel, you already are on a GLP-1, so you're investing in your health already, let's put it that way. But if you like the data, you're trying to improve your health long term, or you've ever looked at your lab work and thought, I have no idea what this actually means, I think this is incredibly valuable. And for me, having an actual roadmap versus just guessing like where to focus or what to put my attention on, to me is worth it. So if you're interested in checking out Superpower for yourself, I'll leave my affiliate link below for you, so you can check it out. Again, it is an affiliate link, so it does help support the channel, but it's at no cost to you. And they have a lot of information on the website. So I'd actually like for you guys to comment down below, what would be the most, what part of the lab work do you think that you would be most interested in for yourself? I know for a lot of women, it's a lot about like your iron and your ferritin, because, you know, that monthly visit from Aunt Flo can take a lot out of us. And I think like that and like hormone testing, it's very interesting. And I feel like a lot of like research is coming out now, especially on women's health, which they have an entire section of their website dedicated to women's health. Didn't they like just come out with a new name for PCOS because they wanted to include like a more broader like diagnosis under that? Like I think a lot of things are changing, especially when it comes to women's health. So getting more in-depth and detailed lab work, especially in the women's health, if you're a woman, I think knowing more information about what is going on inside of your body, I think will help you understand a lot more about what's going on in your brain, or why you feel this way. Why do you feel so tired or dragged down or just drained? I think a lot of things can be explained by some of these labs. So anyway, thank you so much guys for watching till the end of this video. Give it a like if you learned anything or you found it interesting. Subscribe to see my future stuff. I will especially be doing, I think I'm gonna do a 30-day update and then a 90-day update, because I will be having repeat labs after 90 days. And then after, so we'll see if anything improves after taking all the supplements that I am now on. I am going to do a totally new video on things that I'm changing in my life, which is basically just doing a lot of supplements now for my heart health. And then I am challenging myself to a 30-day strength training challenge that will be in August. So at the end of August, I will have that video coming out. And I think, hopefully they work in tandem with each other, so that at the end of these 90 days, my lab work comes back and I am in the nice, hopefully yellow or green section. I don't want to see red, or they have it as pink, but I think that's just to be less alarming on their website. I don't want to be in the pink section anymore. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed to see all the fun stuff coming out, and I'll see you in the next one.